Implantation and early pregnancy symptoms. What do they feel like and how early can you test? I get asked this so often, and I love helping and supporting you to connect deeply with your womb so that you can feel those really early signs of pregnancy way before any test shows positive. So how can you feel those really early signs of pregnancy? What if you're imagining things? How can you know for sure that you are pregnant before a positive test? And then how long do you actually have to wait to get that test? I'm Vicky Renz, I'm a womb healer. I had 7 pregnancies. 5 unfortunately were miscarriages, and I was always so in tune with my body, with my womb. I knew instinctively that I had conceived way before any test could show positive. Things like the rushing of energy after conception, a one-sided feeling implantation, clearly knowing I was pregnant, and then that frustration of having to wait for a positive test. And it was womb healing, connecting with my womb energy, that changed my whole fertility journey around, from being labelled with unexplained infertility by the fertility specialists and going through those recurrent miscarriages to then becoming a mother of 2 within just 2 years. So let's talk about those really early signs of pregnancy that you can be looking out for in your womb by connecting deeply with your womb. Just imagining this is your womb. She even looks like the shape of a heart. She is your second heart. She is your feminine core, and I love helping you to reconnect in with your feminine core rather than looking outwards at all the tracking and the testing. You need to come into your body to truly feel those early signs of pregnancy. When conception happens, when the sperm meets the egg in the fallopian tube, do you know what happens? It's our egg that chooses that one sperm, and then a wonderful chemical reaction happens. And you can imagine it, you can compare it to a star being born. All that energy, that flash of light happening in this one small moment inside of your womb. And this is something you cannot track or test. Yet when you've tuned into your womb, you can feel the changes in your energy. You know, this is so significant. And over the next days, you'll feel the change in energy in your whole body, like rushes of almost an adrenaline type feeling. Perhaps you even feel motherly. That was one of my very earliest signs. Just knowing that I felt different. I had this overwhelming sense of feeling like a mother. Now, if you're feeling this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, so many of us have lost touch with our innate feminine energy, our inner wisdom. You know, it got stamped out by male domination and different religions over the past thousands of years. Yet women used to be so in tune with the phases and cycles of the earth. We used our intuition, we used our healing abilities. Yet this modern wave started treating women like second-class citizens. There was a fear created around our incredible intuition that pushed us away from being within our bodies. And if you look at the birth rates nowadays, you'll see that they're decreasing rapidly. So many more women are talking about fertility struggles, struggling to get pregnant. And I truly believe that women need to come back into their bodies, into their incredible womb energy, come back into their inner feminine flow so that fertility can flow again optimally. So once that has happened with conception and that wonderful burst of energy, then the embryo starts to travel along your fallopian tube and makes the journey into your womb to connect with your womb lining for implantation. Now, along this journey, it could be a bit of a bumpy ride, might not necessarily be smooth, and even though that fertilized egg is so small, it could lightly be banging and touching the lining. of your fallopian tube and as it comes into your womb, and this could dislodge some old blood, and women do experience therefore spotting at a really early stage, even before implantation happens. Now, please know that this doesn't happen with everybody. So whilst some ladies do experience some early spotting as the fertilized egg is traveling down into the womb lining, not everyone does. However, one thing you can be on the lookout for is that change in your feminine energy. You can truly tune into your womb during this time using guided fertility meditations that I've created on my YouTube channel, like the meditation for your 2-week wait, or I have another one for supporting implantation. This is such a beautiful time to be coming out of your head and all that overthinking and tracking and dropping into your womb energy with my guidance. When your egg, your fertilized egg, then arrives around your womb lining, starts to implant, imagine it's snuggling in, making itself a cozy place to cuddle up, and you may clearly feel this, like an initial pinprick kind of feeling when that fertilized egg first implants into your womb lining. Many ladies say that they felt this as well, and this was a clear sensation for me with my pregnancies. And then afterwards, as your little baby starts to settle in, you'll be feeling that on one side. For me, that was kind of like a dull, aching sensation, maybe a little heavy on one side of my womb right at the beginning. And when I placed my hands over my womb, I could always feel on which side my baby was nestling in. It was such an amazing sensation to be able to connect with my baby. But what if you haven't felt that moment? Again, not everyone has the same early signs of pregnancy or the same sensations. However, I really do encourage you to spend time with my guided 2-week wait meditation to get deeper into those sensations within your womb. Once you learn how to journey into your womb, you'll be able to feel this more and more. Take your time, be patient with yourself, don't push it from up in your head. Come down into your womb. And whilst you're doing these womb meditations, you're also supporting your womb, flowing love, supportive energy into your womb to really support your womb during these first days of conceiving and implantation, for your baby to feel optimally supported. You know, there's so much that we can do to support our wombs that fertility doctors don't talk about. You know, they may tell you to relax, put your feet up. Perhaps if you've had an IVF, then they'll be telling you to take it easy for the next days. But there's a whole second side to this, the medical side and the holistic side. I've worked with medical doctors on their successful pregnancy journeys. And it was the doctors that I worked with most of all who were so keen to connect with their wombs every single day. Sometimes doing my meditations 3, 4, 5 times a day, because they knew how important it is to support your womb energy. This is way more than tracking, testing, diets, exercises, positions. This is about flowing that supportive, loving energy into your womb. So we've talked about 3 really early signs of pregnancy that you could be feeling. So the moment of conception, perhaps having light spotting as that fertilized egg is traveling down into your womb lining, and then feeling implantation. So now, how long do you need to wait for a pregnancy test? My womb healing clients get a pregnancy test as early as 3 to 4 days after feeling that moment of implantation. But do know they have clearly felt that moment of implantation, so they can pinpoint the time and date that it happened, so that then they do know that they can test 3 to 4 days later. Pregnancy test manufacturers, doctors, fertility clinics, they'll say to wait longer, even waiting for days past ovulation, which is called DPO. So they'll recommend you wait until about 12 DPO. If you're going by ovulation, then I would say about 80% of the ladies who come to me for womb healing get a positive test at 8 DPO, 8 days past ovulation. Yet a pregnancy test will say to wait for 12 DPO just to really ensure that you're not going to be testing negative, 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 and they want their test to be clearly working for you. It can be a long time of waiting. For me personally, my test didn't show positive until much longer, which is what made the waiting game even more frustrating in my case. Truly feeling all of these sensations, but then having to wait and wait and wait for that test to show positive. I really understand your frustration as well if you are waiting, which is why it's so amazing to be connecting with your womb with my womb healing meditations all the way through your pregnancy journey. You know that the doctors, the fertility support, it's all based on facts and figures and data. Womb healing, womb energy is something that they can't see or measure. So how can they recommend it? That's why womb healing for so many ladies is like a big leap of faith, going into an unknown area because it's not supported with facts and figures. The one thing I can share with you is what it feels like when you do truly connect with your womb energy. And the thousands of ladies that my womb healing is helping, not only to feel these early sensations, but to finally get pregnant and stay pregnant after struggling to conceive for years. Womb connection truly does boost your fertility, your fertile flow, gets you back in connection with your inner feminine, your intuition, and overall, you're helping your body to release a lot of inner stress that could also be blocking fertility. So let's get you energetically supporting your womb. Ask me for my 5 steps to womb healing guide, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Womb of Gaia, so that you can keep up to date with all of my latest womb healing meditations.